Hello guys. Okay, I just did a video like a couple hours ago, but I'm gonna do just this is not gonna be the full end of the Titanic series. I'm just gonna tell you story, then I'm just gonna do people and like boats and everything else. Like you see in his story trails. I'm not copying off him. I'm not copying off of him. We're all doing the same thing in this history Titanic ship thing. We're all doing the same thing. Okay? So Titanic sank in 1912, April 4th. Well, technically April 5th, but it's technically April 4th. Okay? It was built in Heartland and Wolf, and the builder was Thomas Andrews. I'm probably gonna do a more detailed one probably at my end of my channel, which I'm probably gonna be on here for a few decades, but I'm probably gonna do a detailed one probably soon. I'm gonna do a more detailed one, but I'm just trying to get back for the weeks I missed. All right. So yes, it was made in Harlan Wolf next to Olympic and Britannic, but Britannic came later in life, and so yeah, it was built in Harlan Wolf. It was finished in 1912, in March of 1912, and it was ready to go on April 1st or April 2nd. Remind me, link in the comments. Remind me what day it was at Southampton. It arrived at Southampton. Captain Edward Smith spent the night, and everyone came on, and they gave everyone. You could see everyone waving goodbye. But for some strange reason, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but tell me in the comments below if the third class passengers actually got Chick-fil-A's. Alright. They were getting Chick-fil-A's, everyone I don't know, like his third travel said when he went to the museum he saw a ticket booth. Let me know if that was actually accurate. Because I don't know. They had bags of mail they were getting on those small little boats and hook and get them to the ship. And then they loaded up the food, actually some mail also. They loaded up a red nice car, and it left around, like in the movie, it was around the afternoon, 12 o'clock it was leaving. It was somewhere around noon. And it was leaving. Haunt. Is this light good? Haunt. I'm gonna put on. So you can see. There we go. It's better. Yeah, and so yeah, it left around 12. Let me know in the comments. I didn't pay attention really to the time, but it's quite sad. I may cry actually. Don't judge me, but it's just a heartbreaking story. It's just a heartbreaking story. So they left, and if you realize in the pictures while I was at Southampton, you can wait. I'm getting off track. I'm sorry. I'm getting off track. I'm gonna work on that. I'm not getting off track. So it left, and during the voyage, the officers kept down his duties and everything. They kept Well, right after they left Queenstown, yeah, um, Captain Smith said, I don't know if that was actually accurate what he said. Let me know. Let's stretch your legs, and that means just get the propellers and engines kicking on and get them worn in. And 29 knots was about how fast the ship could fully go. Remember, they built the ships not for speed, but for luxury. Oh yeah, and before they left Southampton, they almost got in a collision with the SS American, I think. Yeah, the SS American. Yes, and so during like the third day before sinking, the day before sinking, temperatures actually dropped because where they were before then, It was. Let me use one of these. Oh, I'm gonna draw some for it. Guys, I can draw way better than this. Like, I'm an artist, but this just quick sketch. So you see, hold on. So this is cold. This is where they start. You can see half the ship, and this is what they were coming through. And that day, probably at the end of the day, it started feeling like cold, cold, and this, yeah, it dropped pretty fast when they were out there. Yeah, it dropped like it was so cold they had to put on jackets. And the day, they were getting ice warnings every single hour on the minute of that day. Yes, they were getting so many ice warnings. Ice warning. They got 9 ice warnings, and like 2 to 3 didn't get taken up to the bridge for some strange reason. I know. And so after that, Captain Smith said, "Let's change course." Change course and change course and he didn't slow down the ship. He said change course. Just said let's change course, and he thought we're good. Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta go. Okay, sorry. I had to go get a drink. So yes, he changed course. And here's the thing that people say why he didn't slow down the ship. They were going for some speed worker. Jay Bruce is man. I'm not saying this was his fault, but he wanted to try to get as fast as he could try to beat the Olympic. Because you gotta understand, actually Olympic was leaving the same day as him, as the Titanic. So he wanted to try to beat the Olympic. Um and so on the night of sinking, April 12th around midnight, um Frederick, well no, before midnight, Frederick, like a few hours before midnight, Frederick Fleet was going up with his extra lookout. I forget his name. Jeez, I need to remember the names. But Captain Smith told him keep a sharp watch out, and Captain Smith retired from his night around an hour before, right around midnight. Right around midnight, Frederick Fleet spotted something, and people said that if Frederick Fleet had binoculars, he wouldn't be able. He would have been able to see. But you gotta understand, it was calm waters, no moon at all. So, and there was no waves. So how they would have to do, they would have to use his eyes. The eyes are the best, and just look for the black. I'm gonna try this. Try this. So that's Frederick Fleet on the crow's nest, right around the bow, and see that dark outline. It's pretty crappy, but that's what he would have to look for around on the iceberg. Alright, that's what he would have to look. Yes, he would have to look for that. Okay, sorry, I'm falling off my seat. Okay, so he would have to look for that. But so people say that and Frederick Fleet I guess in an interview said that when and some other people realized right after right before Frederick Fleet said iceberg right ahead before he even called he saw the ship was turning a little bit to left. So Murdoch saw it and probably didn't know how close it really was. So Frederick Fleet had it yelled down, and here was the exact same words. Everyone probably knows the classic lines. Is everyone there? Yes, iceberg right ahead. Understandable, understandable. On on, I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So yes, he was looking around. He saw that the ship was turning just a little bit to the left, right as he was about to call down to the bridge. And yeah, so let me think. So yes, Officer Murdoch literally yelled at the man, even the helmsman, which wasn't one of my favorite guys because he didn't want to pick up any of the Titanic survivors. But yeah, so what was it? So Officer Murdoch yelled at him to harder starboard so much. Yelled at him so much. And even when he said that's all I can do, he said hard starboard. Well, to be fair, he didn't know that he fully did it all the way. But yeah. And he called down to the engine room and he told him, well, he didn't call, he used a telegraph. If you don't know what a telegraph is, I'll explain it in part two. But he used a telegraph to let him know, and the boiler room to shut the boilers off and shut the engines off. And when the iceberg struck, people say it just left a giant big cut. That's not all. All right, I'm gonna leave out there, just cutting the hole. Okay, guys, I'll see you later. All right, bye. In part two, I'll probably be doing it tomorrow or the next day after that. All right, see ya.